Yo, good afternoon. Welcome to the other podcast. And you are rocking with niemand anders seker as Rodwin, Vincent, Zana. Uh, Vandaag doen ons iets so jong 5 vrae. Let's go. So, first question. How do you think and feel about being unemployed? Yo, wat 'n vraag, nee. So, vir my, okay, let's rather answer it in English. How do I feel about being unemployed? Let's say, first of all, it makes you tired, especially in a place like Willowmore, where you know there won't come any opportunity anytime soon, due to the fact that when the opportunities come, you won't even know about it because only certain people know about it. But yeah, the way it make me feel, I'm just tired. I'm at the point where I don't even apply anymore for jobs in Willowmore because we don't know when the jobs come out. Yeah. Second question, how do I handle the situation? How do I handle being unemployed? Uh, Most of the time I'm at home handling the situation. I would say I have to make my own way to get money because I'm young. Not that I'm young, but I have to make a way to get my own money. I don't have a job, but I believe God gave me a talent, and with that talent, I would love to even grow even further, not to worry about being unemployed and create my own job at the end of the day. So how I'm handling it is I'm a DJ, and whenever I get a chance to play, whenever they book me, that's where I handle my situation as being unemployed. Uh, Third question, what is the impact of your unemployment on your environment? What is the impact of me being unemployed in an environment like Willowmore would then be your we are bored, man. We are bored. Being unemployed basically says we are bored, we have nothing to do. So as young people, to be unemployed in a place like Willowmore where there's nothing to do, we don't even have swimming pools, we don't have parks where we can just go and play around, pardon, swings, something like that for the kids. So there's no entertainment unless it is rugby, which is also in and out, as we know, as seasons come. Uh, so it impact us. Then we have to go to groove eventually. I would have said a more polite word, but then we have to go out and then we drink. So for us who drink, we have to go out and have a nice time, and that's how it impact us because when you don't have work, then you get lazy. Some of us drink, some of us smoke, some of us lower to other things. And that's where the crime comes in because we are lazy, we don't have work. I believe if we have work, then all of this, then we don't have time for all of this. Then we would have something to do. But I believe that's how it impact us. So we have nothing to do. We don't have work. We don't have entertainment. Whatever entertainment it have, it involve alcohol, drugs. So yeah, that's how I think it impact us. Uh, Third question. Is it the fourth question now? Third one. I think it's the third one. Yeah, that was what is the impact. Yeah, that was the third one. The fourth one is which factor in the context promote the problem. In other words, what in the environment makes it worse. So basically, what are they asking is what makes unemployment worse in Willowmore? Just like I said, uh, as young people, we are difficult to understand in the people who are in charge, or the people who basically run the town, run the municipalities, run the business organization side that are supposed to create jobs for us. I don't say it is their responsibility to create jobs, but I guess that's where the unemployment comes in, where they don't create jobs for us. Because when there's jobs, we don't see the advertisements. And when it is advertised, it is like in you had to submit all of those things. And the problem is that we are short on resources also, because in a small town like Willowmore, for instance, when you come fresh out of school, you have to have the SARS numbers and all of that stuff. I believe the kids don't know even what is a SARS number. Even though we are this clever, we know everything. They don't know a SARS number, all of that. We lack that side also, because at the end of the day, these guys employ people from out of town, because they are the ones who are getting exploited to all of these kind of things that they have to know in order to get a job. But at the end of the day, to say the context of the problem is that whenever there are jobs, we don't know about the jobs, and it would sound as if I'm blaming it on someone. Someone would say, no, you must go out and you must make sure you must find it. Even if we are applying for these jobs, we don't get the jobs because of the small town mentality and the small town favoritism. Because I know you, you know me, and my child is also struggling. Your child is also struggling. So I'm gonna make a way for my child. I'm gonna make a way for my family members, and that's how society are being built nowadays. So in order for us to survive in a small town like Willowmore, yo, I don't know. I really don't know. The problem is basically we don't have opportunities. We don't have opportunities, and when the opportunities come, we are not fit enough to fit those opportunities, because there's always lacking something, and they always have another agenda when it comes to employing people in Willowmore. But that's just my take, it's my point of view. The last question would then be, which factors in the context can contribute to the solution of the problem? In other words, what in the environment may help to solve the problem, bring some relief. Okay, so basically what are they asking is what can they do to lessen unemployment in a small town like Willowmore, for instance. So, yo, people that is unemployed, ne? We have a lot of ideas. Every day we will come up with ideas left and right and center. But for me to say we don't have any type of fabric in Willowmore, if that's the proper English, we don't have a fabric in Willowmore like back in the days. I'm still too young. They used to have a appelkosie fabriek, as we call it, the appelkosie fabriek, but it is most now the apricot farm, and then they had the plankies, which helped, because when you have such big operations and such big fabrics, then you can provide more work to more people. But as the years passed, all of that just went away. In Even though it was seasonal, we knew that that is what brings at least a large portion of money into Willowmore. So I believe that if we really want to really excuse the English, if we really want to uh, lessen and help with the unemployment in a small town, not specifically Willowmore, we need large fabrics where we can at least say we employ 100 people, 50 to 100 people. For instance, I know it is tough to say someone must do something like that, but in 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 order for us to tackle it at large, that's the only way, because then we can at least know that at the end of the week or at the end of every 2 weeks, at least 100 people get salaries into a small town. 100 people can provide for their families, and then the town also can grow. Because in a place like Willowmore, I believe Willowmore should have grown very far by now, because we are basically a drive-through on the N9, and I believe we are being gate-kept from a lot of things. And if we create more opportunities for the people of Willowmore, then Willowmore itself can grow. And when it grows, then other big companies can see, no, we can come and we can invest in these small towns. But if the small towns always are being neglected and put aside and say, no, man, there's nothing going on there, I believe nothing is ever going to happen. How do you grow something? You must put a seed in order to create a tree. I believe so. So, in order for us to go forward in tackle the unemployment, I believe we should create more bigger companies that facilitate more workers in small towns, not just in big towns, because at the end of the day, then you can develop that small towns, for instance. But that's it from me, an unemployed guy from Willowmore. Thank you for your 5 minutes of time. Danko.